The briefing chamber was sealed. Dark paneled walls, embedded with sound-scrambling circuitry, pulsed faintly. No windows, no transmissions. Only a single table in the center of the room, surrounded by 6 high-backed chairs. 3 were occupied. General Anton Gregorov, Director Yara of Systemics, and Dr. Alden Kray from the Biomedical Advanced Directorate. Their eyes followed President Connors as she paced, sharp-heeled boots tapping with military precision. A silent guard stood at the door. Connors didn't acknowledge him. This wasn't about security anymore, it was about control. She turned and set her hands flat on the table.
Operation Quiet Rain has succeeded. Virellia is broken. Their fleets are ash. Their capital lies beneath our boots. But we are not finished.
Gregorov inclined his head.
There are still outer colonies resisting. Pockets of...
She silenced him with a raised finger.
You misunderstand, Anton. I'm not talking about holding territory. I'm talking about transcending it.
Yara arched a brow, but Kray's expression shifted. He had heard whispers. Rumors buried deep in requisition trails and decoded lattice entries. Connors saw it in his eyes.
You've seen the recovered data fragments from Vault 01?
Kray nodded slowly.
The genome maps, but they were incomplete.
Not anymore,
Connors said. She reached into the folds of her coat and slid a data slate onto the table. The room's hollow projector flickered to life, casting an intricate lattice of glowing, intertwining strands above them. A double helix but denser, layers within layers, rotating, shifting. More a cathedral of data than a strand of DNA.
The Virellians didn't just extend life, they reversed it. This,
she gestured at the projection,
is what they called the Lamina Core. A recursive genomic lattice with adaptive redundancy. Their elite didn't simply live longer, they rebooted, restored every cellular structure to its ideal functional prime. A woman of 90 could walk like she was 30, think like she was 20, breathe like she was 16.
Gregorov looked unconvinced.
Speculative, unverifiable.
It's been verified,
Kray whispered, eyes locked on the model.
My team isolated a base pair cluster from captured Virelian tissue. Regenerative anomalies. Off the scale. Mitotic rates without degradation. Mitochondrial reset protocols. It shouldn't be possible.
But it is,
Connors said, voice cool. Yara leaned forward now.
What are you proposing, Madam President?
I'm not proposing, I'm declaring. This war was never about military dominance, not resources, not trade routes. That was camouflage. This,
she stabbed a finger at the rotating lattice,
is the true prize. Not just for us, but for all of humanity. Controlled rejuvenation, regenerative continuity, centuries of uninterrupted leadership, intelligence unclouded by age, strength unmarred by entropy. A species no longer bound by its own decay.
You intend to give this to the population?
She smiled thinly.
No, of course not.
Silence. Then Kray's voice, soft.
Selective inheritance.
Exactly. The architects of this new order, us, will guide humanity forward. We don't need billions of immortals. We need stability, vision, continuity of rule. Imagine a government unbroken by election cycles, senescence, or ideological drift. One mind, one hand, for 100 years. 200.
Yara's voice was steel.
That's a dynasty, not a democracy.
It's survival. Do you think the monoliths selected the Virellians at random? Do you think their civilization reached such heights because they obeyed electoral norms? No. They chose stability, continuity, inheritance. That's the real game, and I intend to win it.
Gregorov crossed his arms.
And how do you intend to extract the full lattice? Virelian encryption protocols fragment core data across spires. We've already taken casualties just getting into one archive nexus.
We now hold 3 of the major vault towers, and with Project Spiral Tap nearing operational readiness, Elias believes we can override their archival safeguards. Once we activate the vault linkage cores, the network will consolidate, and when it does, we capture the lattice in full.
Kray looked haunted.
There will be risks. If we don't understand the recursion model fully,
We'll understand it, or we'll force someone who does to teach us. I want every living Virellian geneticist found. No sanctuary, no treaties, renditions if necessary, and if they resist, terminate them and seize their neural archives.
You're ordering war crimes.
I'm winning a future. If you can't stomach what that requires, I'll find someone who can.
Yara didn't blink.
And once you possess it, once your body is restored, what then?
Connors let the silence hang for a moment. Then she stepped back from the table.
Then I finished the work I started.
Her voice dropped to something almost reverent.
I watched this species crawl its way through centuries of rot. Wars over scraps, ideologies built on sand, leaders replaced by fools before their vision bore fruit. That ends with me. No more aging out of power. No more senile senators. No more legacy lost to time. I am the legacy.
Kray looked shaken.
This goes beyond science.
It is science, elevated to destiny.
Outside the chamber, the hum of dropships reverberated through the command structure. The occupation of Virellia was nearly total. The outer moons would fall within weeks. Resistance was fragmented. The High Council had been publicly escorted to prisoner ships. Only a few enclaves still held out in silence and shadow. The war, by every measure, was over. But as Connors looked up at the glowing genomic cathedral hovering above them, she knew it had only just begun.
We are not conquerors. We are inheritors. And when history remembers this moment, it will not recall fleets or firepower. It will remember that this was when humanity took its next step. Past mortality, past decline, into permanence.
She turned and walked toward the door. Behind her, no one moved. Not yet. But the storm she had summoned was already gathering.